By the way, I am Dr. Grace Carol Beltran, a dermatologist, dermatologic surgeon, genetologist, and obesity resource person. I am actually very much married with 3 kids. My eldest is now an ophthalmologist and who is 41 years old. And my second child is now an art director working in Vietnam because he got married with a Vietnamese. And my third child is 32 years old. He graduated from Ateneo in business management and is also a pilot at the same time. I started being exposed to people with dandruff because I am a dermatologist. So I've handled cases of many patients with dandruff and seborrheic dermatitis also, and at the same time, cases similar to dandruff like psoriasis. But in case of dandruff, this is just a minor case for me. The only problem with dandruff is that it is a recurring skin problem that is genetic, and that is why it comes back every time there is a trigger. I started dealing with these cases when I started practicing dermatology, and that is already for 32 years. I have very much a lot of experience when it comes to dandruff. But if you will take note, there are 2 disease entities that are very similar, and this is dandruff and seborrheic dermatitis. When you say dandruff, it is just limited to the scalp. That means that it doesn't go beyond the hairline. No? Seborrheic dermatitis is something like dandruff, but it goes beyond the hairline. It extends to the body and to other parts of the body, like for example, your genital area. So that is what makes it different. Both of them are treated the same way. No? So I've been using several topical medication, shampoos, and oral medication to treat patients with this type of problem. That's basically my experience with dandruff and my encounter with people with skin disease such as dandruff, which is very, very similar to seborrheic dermatitis. Basically, how I manage dandruff is based on my training and at the same time, my experience. Sa training ko kasi, tinuruan kami kung paano ibibigay yung mga pamahid, yung ipagsasama-sama yung mga ingredients para talagang mawala yung dandruff ng mabilis, no? But at the same time, my experience also tells me that this may not only be the case, no? You have to control the lifestyle of the patient. Lahat ng mga bawal dapat sundin nila. At saka dapat ng mga yung mga nakaka-trigger ng dandruff ay talagang aayusin din nila. So, yung lifestyle nila kailangan magiging nararapat para hindi na paulit-ulit madalas ang kanilang dandruff. So, ano ba yung mga lifestyle changes? Well, first of all, bawal ang stress talaga. So, alam na natin kung ano yung mga stress, puyat, pagod, galit, asar, inis, worry. Ngayon, kuminsan hindi lang naman stress, no? Yung mga kinakain. So, if you eat a lot of caffeine, okay, foods with caffeine, okay, and also if you eat a lot of spicy foods and other foods that trigger dandruff, then this can worsen your problem. And also, if you keep on, let's say, applying chemicals on your scalp, this can also trigger dandruff. Kasi when you apply a chemical on your body or on your skin or on your scalp, the tendency of the skin is to get rid of them because they are not a normal part of the anatomy, no, of the skin and the scalp. So the normal expression of the skin is to get rid of these chemicals so that it will not further irritate the scalp or the skin. Kaya nagkakaroon lalo ng dandruff. Kasi nga, when you eliminate certain chemicals in those areas, the skin will grow faster and it will accumulate a lot of keratin, kaya nagkakaroon ng kaliskis, no? So, yun, pag nagkaroon na ng a lot of keratin, magmamanifest na ito as dandruff or seborrheic dermatitis. They are not the same, remember? But they can be similar. Habang tumatanda ako, habang tumatagal ako sa practice, na-realize ko na the medicines, the topical and oral medicines are not only the most important thing, no, to manage dandruff. Other things like modification of your lifestyle and attitude and modification of your stress level is also a very important factor in this process.